if intelligence and mind were all pervading, then your hands also should have been able to think. Your legs should also have been able to think. Can you think with your legs?
No, cannot think.
You cannot, right? So that means they are not all pervading. But they are not localized also. They are not localized also. Why? Because they are subtle. They are very subtle. They are very fine. Of course, not as fine as consciousness, but still, they don't have the characteristic of consciousness. Characteristic of consciousness is, it cannot be fragmented, it cannot be destroyed, and it is all pervading. Why? Because it is spiritual. Whereas mind and intelligence are not spiritual, they are material. So whatever is material cannot have the characteristic of something which is spiritual. So it cannot, mind and intelligence cannot have the characteristics of consciousness of being all pervading and indestructible. Mind and intelligence can be destroyed. That is how, when we go from one body to another, the subtle body of mind, intelligence, and false ego takes us to the next body. But then when we go to the next body, that according to the next body that we are getting, the mind and intelligence will have to get changed. So, therefore, we cannot, but consciousness does not change. Consciousness continues as it is. Consciousness is unchangeable, whereas mind, intelligence, and false ego can change. According to the body we get, false ego also changes. If false ego does not change, you get a dog's body, you will be still thinking I'm a human being. Or you get a human body, suppose you got a human body from a lion body, you'll be still thinking I'm a lion. Then it will create problem for everyone else around you. You'll start seeing everybody else as food for yourself. It's problematic. So, mind, intelligence, and false ego are not spiritual, they are dead matter. They are just like you take the software. Now, if you ask where is the software residing, can you figure out where is the software residing? You cannot find out where is the software. The operating system is running all over. It is running. It is coming from, it is being used by the CPU. So like that, the mind, intelligence, and false ego are subtle, and they are subtle machinery. Mind is also a machine that is utilized by the soul. So, one way we can, in one sense, it is localized also, because the hardware through which the jiva uses the mind and intelligence is through the brain. Through the brain as well as the heart. Both. So, therefore, we can understand that there is some localization also. But at the same time, we cannot pinpoint this exactly is where the mind is, this is where the intelligence is, because the soul is utilizing them. So, that's why we say sometimes some people think with the heart, some people think with the head. Emotionally, if you take some decision, that is a decision from the heart. If you think very rationally and decide, it is a decision coming from the brain. That is why I said it is there in both places. Ultimately, we have to understand it is the mind and intelligence are with the soul. But for the mind and intelligence to be able to use that, for the soul to be able to use that mind and intelligence, it requires the hardware of brain, heart, and all these things. Just like I may have a CD of Windows operating system, but I cannot use that in the air. I need a hardware, I need a CPU, I need some RAM, I need some ROM, all those things I need. Then only I can use that software. But the software is independent of the RAM and all those things. So similarly, the mind and intelligence, to use the mind and intelligence, I need the brain. But that does not mean brain and mind are the same, or brain and intelligence are the same. Brain is the hardware through which we use the mind and intelligence. That's how we can understand it. But the mind and intelligence has an existence independent of the brain. Because there are examples of people who don't have a brain and still they can think and act like normal people. That means the mind is independent of the brain. What happens is there is a condition in which the cranial fluid, the quantity of the cranial fluid becomes too much, and it occupies all the cranial activity. Actually, if you see the cranium, inside the skull, there is the cranial fluid, in which the brain is actually floating. It's like a cushion in which the brain is floating. But in some people, what happens is that cranial fluid becomes too much, and so it compresses the brain, so the brain cannot grow. So practically, in some people, there is no brain. If you scan their brain, you will see only a cavity. but they are able to think and act and study, and they also get educated, they work, they go to work, they have a family, everything goes on normally. In fact, unless you take a scan and tell them you don't have brain, they won't even know that they don't have a brain. So there'll be only one small tissue of brain which is there on the periphery of the cranium. So that much is enough for the mind to act. That is the hardware it has got, it will act. But modern scientists are unable to understand. They're saying this guy has no brain. How is he able to think? Because they have identified the brain with the mind and intelligence. They are thinking brain means mind and intelligence. That's not the reality. Mind and intelligence are subtle, like the operating system. They are the subtle part, and the brain is like the hardware. It's like the CPU, you can call, or something like that. So, these are gross ways to understand. So, it's a very complicated machinery. If you exactly ask me, I can also not give a very clear answer that where exactly is the mind and brain. Only thing is, it is with the soul. That much we can understand. It's a very complicated machine, this human body. For us to be able to understand and analyze, it's not very easy. To some extent, we can understand this way.